All right, shalom and good morning, boys. Here, uh, out on this beautiful day, and about to go and put in that work. The job sites that I'm at now is about 10 and 15 minutes away, so it's definitely a blessing. Not that I'm worried about gas either way. This is why you gotta transfer those costs. But what I wanted to talk about this morning is, just work ethic and being able to stay focused for a prolonged period of time in order to get things done. Fortunately or unfortunately, I don't know which one it is, I have the opportunity to speak to a lot of people. And a lot of people have questions in terms of how do you buy land, what do you do, so forth and so on, They have all these questions, and it's good to have questions. It's good to show interest. But if you're serious, a lot of people, spend a lot of time putting the cart before the horse. And what I mean by that is that, they want to do something, but they have not put in the work in order to get it done. And let me, explain in a little bit more detail. If you're willing or if you're interested and willing to buy land, you have to have something called resources, money, in order to buy it. And what a lot of people will do is they'll call up and they'll want to have discussions about, land. And I say, well, how much money do you have? What is your budget? I mean, I just not went through this with a client that, the fence that they saw is going to cost them $5,000. And I said, what is your budget? And if your budget is $3,000, and I'll look at a fencing system that will be, $3,000, and we'll go with that. But what you find is a lot of people, they have zero. They have no money. And they want to talk about all of these things associated with, land. And they have no money. They have no resources. And they're not even in the process of saving. I ask people, how much money have you saved for this land that you want to buy? And it's zero. Everybody's looking for some type of get rich quick gimmick, or something for nothing scam, the stuff that people come up with in order to attempt to extract resources or funds out of other people. And they don't want to do no work. They want to do an ebook. They want to do some type of scam, some type of, where they can get something for nothing. This seems to be the general push of folk today. And it's quite sad because you're not going to achieve anything or accomplish anything unless you have good, solid, hard work. If you have a good, clear plan and the resources to implement that plan. People want the success. People want to be able to, have a nice big old greenhouse. That's a 30 by 96 greenhouse where they can grow their food and extend their growing season. People want, a nice little gun range where they can go and practice their shot placement, because it's very important to be proficient in firearms. They want homes and they want cabins and they want raised beds and they want a beautiful piece of land in order to raise their children. They all want this, and it's good things to want. However, they're not willing to put in the work. And one of the key things that I notice about people that immediately tells me if they're serious or not is what they do with their money right now. You see, before I moved, it took me about 3 years to save up the cash while I was in the city and when times were good. I had to stop all of the fancy dinners, and I had to stop the Broadway plays, and I had to stop the musicals, and I had to stop, the things that I like to do I had to stop the events that I like to go to. I had to stop all of that stuff, and I had to redirect those resources into something that I knew would pay off long term. And I knew that eventually I'd be able to do those things. I see nothing wrong with being able to go to a nice restaurant. I see nothing wrong with being able to go to a nice play or musical or attend a gala event or something like that. If that's, people are into different things, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's what I was into. So, but I had to sacrifice those things in order to achieve the current dream that I am living now. To be able to be debt free and financially independent and self sufficient, whether it comes to my food or the land or my economics, where it's all off grid. It's all off grid. And the final chapter of this thing is definitely going to be my soul, and I'm looking forward to getting that done as well. But, it takes sacrifice. And a lot of people, they want something for nothing. We live in an entitled, self-centered generation where people want you to do something for them. People want you to do all the work for them. They want something for nothing. And it's pretty sad because you see these folks and they go on year after year after year after year. I'm not talking about month after month. I'm talking about year after year, achieving nothing, accomplishing nothing, having nothing, in the same rut and the same struggle, because they're not willing to make the sacrifice. They're not willing to put their hands to the plow. And it's sad because, we live in a society where it's an instant gratification, something for nothing, entitled mentality. And you see a lot of people have this mentality. It's amazing to see people. Again, you look at them year after year, no progress, talking the talk, ain't walking no walk, and they think they fooling somebody. But they ain't fooling nobody but themselves. It's a tragic thing to see. It's a tragic thing to experience. It's unfortunate. However, this is the way it is. This is what it is. And there's only going to be a remnant. There's only going to be a few that's going to make things happen. That's going to actually get things done and have the results of getting things done. I'm looking at that tree right there. I planted that tree, right? And then the next tree next to it is dead. I got to cut it out. And I know the reason why is because the sheep was rubbing their horns in it and destroyed the base. But I planted that tree. And it's a beautiful thing to see a tree grow and bear fruit, but it takes time. It takes time. And a lot of people just not willing to put in the time. There's nothing sexy about, making those short-term sacrifices for them long-term gains. It's sad to see, especially people that, claim they're in the faith and they're all in the world. Everything about them is just totally worldly. And they're living in this delusional state where they think that, just because they can say all praises to the Most High. This is why you don't hear me sounding all religious, because the most religious people I know, in their profiles and stuff, they totally phony. They totally fake. Especially when they don't believe a word of that Bible when you look at them. Somebody was telling me about, what, a sister was saying, what if you want, your wife wants to beautify herself for you? Meaning, what if she want to throw on a whole bunch of makeup? Let's say, my wife doesn't need to put on with makeup. She's beautiful just the way she is. Trying to justify the use of makeup. And, you out here, we're going to get out here, we're going to tend the sheep, we're going to tend the goat. Who in the hell is putting on a whole bunch of gook on their face to live this thing? It's sad and tragic. You can see how Romanized, Hellenized, we have become in this society. It's a damn shame. But the only way we're gonna have to, get this thing is for getting around serious-minded people who's willing to show results and make sacrifices. If people are not making sacrifices now in the green to sacrifice those things that they like in order for a long-term goal, that's why I can immediately tell. I can immediately tell it. They're not gonna make the sacrifices. They're just gonna talk the talk and they're gonna be deceived. But for those who are getting it done, for those who are making the sacrifice and putting in the effort, we're going to get the result. We're going to get the reward. Stay focused. Leave people alone that's in this delusional state. They've been there and their lifestyle proves it. They've accomplished nothing. They've had no progress, no increase. It's sad. Don't be one of those people.